Lead stories today. Sibanye-Stillwater workers and mine management have been meeting in Boksburg in Ekurhuleni to end the 3-month-long strike. Trade unions are about to address the media. Let's go live there now.
Okay, great. Yes, Bradan, we are joined by NUM together with AMCU. We do understand they've been in discussions with Sibanye-Stillwater together with the Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe. I'm going to ask the two gentlemen to perhaps start with their briefing.
Yes, this morning we had a meeting from 10 o'clock until now, which is still continuing. To try and resolve the strike, but most unfortunately we are still apart from each other, in spite of the fact that we have made a move to say this is what probably could lend us closer to what the workers are requiring or demanding, but the company is still adamant in its 800 Rand offer. So ours, it's 1050, it's 1050 Rand. So that is it.
Okay, so you say that this is where the unions are sticking with this figure, but maybe just take us into what the discussions look like. What does this mean? The strike continues? Are you still going to engage with them? What is Sibanye telling you?
From the look of things, they are pissed off by one thing, that they want us to take what they are offering. It's a take it or leave it in terms of them. Now, unfortunately, we are working from a mandate which comes broadly from our members of NUM and AMCU together. So we cannot break that type of whatever they are giving us here, we needed to take it back to the workers, to the members, to say this is what Sibanye is saying. Unfortunately, there is nothing that is coming still there. Sibanye is using an elastic band approach. It's the same pot. They are referring to it as a pot. When you stretch a rubber band, you can form what you call a trapezium figure, or you can form a triangle figure, or a four-figure item. So now they are doing that. They are not putting anything. They are saying that this is it. So unfortunately, discussing and negotiating this demonstrate the arrogancy and bad faith. We came here as unions to say that we are in a disposal. Tell us what are you offering, but they are stuck to their previous offer of 3 week negotiations back.
Maybe we can bring the NUM in here. What is your plan moving forward? And has the intervention of the Minister of Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe, helped you at all with these discussions?
Yeah, I think when we speak now, the Minister is with the company. He's talking to them. Obviously, we are waiting for them. But maybe one thing that we must clarify is that all this time, as Labour, we were demanding 1,100. It is just that maybe it is clouded about 1,000. It is because the 1,000 was the one that is on the wages, the 100 was the one that is on the housing. That's why when we went on strike, the company was offering 700 plus 100 Rand, which was 800. Now today, we made a concession and made a movement from our 1,100 to 1,050 Rand, which was a counter to what they were offering from the 700 to 850, which we think that they will also bring something on the table, counter it, and see how we move. But then when we made that counter, they then told us that no, the 850 is the final, that they will never make a move. But the reality of the matter is that, yes, we are on a strike. Unless we reach a settlement, the strike will then continue. But if we reach a settlement, obviously, yes, we will then have a settlement. But up to so far, yeah, it is difficult, but let us be optimistic and have a hope. In life, we must always have a hope. So maybe the discussion that the minister is having with the company may bring us a different opinion of the approach. But let us be conclusive exactly after the meeting, the minister with them, as to whether can we call it a day and say that the matter is not resolved, or let us be hopeful that maybe their discussion will then bear something to say that, yeah, I can't say for now that the intervention of the minister has failed until the end of today to say we have got 2 sessions and then we don't have anything that we can take to the workers and make it have a settlement. But yeah, one is still hopeful that something can happen.
But why are you hopeful if you've spent 2 sessions without any agreement, the minister and yourselves not being able to reach an agreement? What's going to change now?
But the reality of the matter is that if I can be a leader that is not hopeful, the question that one must ask is, then what must I say? Must I say to you, this strike will be there until next year? Is that what will then make you happy? But the reality of the matter is that there is a strike, and this strike will one day will come to an end. And then how it will come to an end, I don't know. I can't predict now because I can't prophesy what will then make something to settle this strike. But the reality of the matter is this is a strike, and this strike one day will finish. It may not be today, now, but the reality of the matter is that I'm a leader. I must have a hope. If I don't have a hope, how workers are going to be in the strike and still have a hope?
Are you at this present moment offering the workers any sort of assistance? Because we've been to the compounds, we've seen the struggles that they face with the lack of salary, some of them medical aids, obviously not being paid. Is there any form of assistance from the unions that you're offering the workers?
Okay, I think it is just unfortunate that media and all other critics, when they look at the strike, they think that these things are automatic. There are plans to alleviate the pressure, but it's still early to tell. For now, we have been in 5-month strike. We have sustained that strike, and then the organization have tried very hard to support. At the right time, we will support our members. We feel that if this strike does not end, we do not reach agreement with the company, it's only then that we can plan. But for now, to say that, is there anything that we are doing? Yes, we know the principle that they are using, no work, no pay. It's a principle that is acceptable in terms of the Labour Relations Act. But however, as unions, we have discussed this matter and it's under consideration.
We were made to understand that Sibanye repackaged its offer to you earlier today. Can you just talk about the repackaging, exactly what it is?
Yeah, if you look at the example of an elastic rubber band that I was talking about, Sibanye is saying that for first year, that is the repackaging. First year, I'll give you 700 plus 50 rand. Second year, I'll give you 800 plus 50 rand. Third year, I'll give you 900 plus 50 rand. Now, when you take the last 100 rand on the 900 and put it back to 700 rand, it's 800 flat for these 3 years, and which is not our demand. Our demand is 1,000, 1,000, 1,000.
There's been talk that some members are suffering, as you've just mentioned, no work, no pay. How many of these members, are you aware of these members that are saying, let's go back to work, we're in poverty?
You see, in a situation like that, remember that we're leading plus or minus 30,000 membership, both unions. So we cannot just take an isolated case. Yes, there are isolated cases. We have tried to assist those that came forward. But indeed, members will have challenges. And those challenges, when they start rising, we will also be there to support our members. And perhaps let us desist for now to encourage that you are hungry and speak what you call in volume and say members are hungry. Members know it's better to suffer now than to wait for heavy drops.
That's what they've told us today, so we're not making it up.
No, I'm not saying you are making it up. I'm simply saying that It's better to suffer now than to wait for heavy drops. If I can take you back to what is making this thing very difficult, Sibanye's CEO, Neil Froneman, alone took 300 million rand in the current year, 2020-2021. He walloped 300 million rand. What is the wage bill for these 30,000? And add on, it's 360 million. Now, how does that compare? So members are aware, yes, stomach politics will not assist us here. What we are dealing with, it's a matter of life and death. Members are determined. Hunger will be there. Hunger has never killed anybody, but hunger will be there, and then we are prepared to support our members.
But it's not just them and their families.
No, let us just put it this way. We went to mass meetings, and in those mass meetings, we had 3 mass meetings. We had one mass meeting at Driefontein. We had another mass meeting at Kloof. We had a mass meeting at Beatrix. And in those mass meetings, the workers are the ones that took a decision that they don't accept the offer of 850 that the employer is given. And then they gave us a mandate to continue, that they continue with the strike. If there are issues, I want to be open and honest with you that the interview is, unfortunately, is an interview where you interview one person. And we are a democratic union. That's why we go to mass meeting. If workers can, in the mass meeting, tell us that they accept the offer, there's nothing that we can do. But we must be honest. I can tell you the very same that you can tell me. There was also an SABC interview, which was in the public. The very same workers who were interviewed and saying that they will not accept anything than 1,000 on Wednesday, this Wednesday. So it's a matter that, yes, one can't dispute. If you interviewed and then they are saying that, we can then say, but those are the things that let us talk them in the mass meeting, because I don't go to one member, then he raised this. I go to another member, he raised this. Democratically, so we call mass meetings, and in those mass meetings, decisions are taken. You must be mindful that we are on this strike, that the very same workers are the ones that voted for the strike. In this time, we don't, as unions, we don't have anything to call a strike. In this time, for us to call a strike, you must have a voting. And the workers voted for this strike, not us. So if the workers at a particular time can give us a mandate, and the mandate has changed to the mandate that we have, we will follow the mandate. We are a mandate-driven union. And we can say that we didn't have a mass meetings 3 weeks or what. We had mass meetings last week, and that is the mandate that we were given.
Sorry, we're running out of time. I just have 2 last questions. Sibanye told ENCA yesterday that workers are being bullied by union leaders. What is your response to this? And a lot of them apparently have indicated that they want to go back to work, but the unions are indicating that they shouldn't. Secondly, we've heard that there could possibly be a secondary strike. Could you respond to this?
Let me raise this thing. You know, when an employer want to create a divide and rule tactics, that is what Sibanye said. We ask the very same questions because Sibanye raised some of those issues with us, and then we are saying we are holding meetings in public areas where they are recorded. If there is an area where leadership is bullying, tell us who's the leader that is bullying these workers. Because I was in the mass meeting. Let me give you an example. I was in the mass meeting in Driefontein. I was in the mass meeting in Kloof. I was in the mass meeting in Beatrix. And let us just even give you a simple issue. Amongst these 30,000 workers, the leadership, I'm sure, we are talking of people that are less than 50. Do you want to tell me that 50 people can bully 30,000 people? That is impossible. And that is why we are saying we go to mass meetings. The last mass meetings that we went in this operation, the 3, the decision of the mass meeting was that they are not accepting the offer. But we are saying to you bluntly, if there is a leader that is bullying these workers, tell us. From NUM who's bullying them, from AMCU who's bullying them. But we were in the mass meeting. Nobody's bullying them. That is their own decision. That is why we are saying, you see, it's even worse. These workers, before they go on strike, they went to voting. We bullied them to go to a ballot. So sometimes we must be open and honest. That we can't bully a person and even force him to go to a ballot that is a secret and voted for the strike. And he said he's bullied. By whom?
Could you maybe just respond to the possibility of a secondary strike?
Indeed, we have mobilized for that. We just have to serve Sibanye with a 7 days notice. Then
So just give us details of the secondary strike.
the secondary strike, we need to inform the employer, which is Sibanye in this instance, that we are going to effectively engage our members in the platinum belt from Sibanye's companies to join and support the demand of the gold wage negotiations, their fellow members in the gold sector. So once we have done that, which I believe that we are planning a mass meeting with the platinum belt, and then just before you were here earlier, I hope you have seen some. I've addressed already the leadership there. Now the concept of secondary, they were actually fighting. Why are we waited so long? Because you should have called us earlier. So now they are eager to take that up and support their fellows.
So most likely in the next 7 days we'll be seeing a secondary strike.
You will be seeing a secondary strike. I may not conclusively say in 7 days because we have to give the company 7 days as an application. Then probably in the 8th day, if I'm not mistaken, then we will kick into that secondary strike. But we are mobilizing. And in actual fact, there are many members who want to come in and join, from even those who have concluded the agreement with, but we said no, this is Sibanye's issue. Let's get all the workers from Sibanye, our members, to support their cause.
Do you not think that you'll come to an agreement with Sibanye before this secondary strike could possibly take place?
We are hopeful and praying for that. If it happens, it will alleviate a great problem on our shoulders. But if it doesn't happen, we are eager to go on.
Okay, great. Thank you both so much for your time. We do appreciate it. As you can hear there, Bradan, a lot coming out from this mini press briefing that was happening with AMCU and the NUM. Possibility of a second strike in the Platinum Belt. We know AMCU is the majority when it comes to those that are in the platinum sector with regards to Sibanye. However, they are hoping to reach some conclusion. What's interesting is that the NUM indicated that they cannot say at this stage if the intervention of the minister has failed because discussions are still ongoing. We have been informed by certain members, in fact, that the conversations and the discussions in that meeting and in that room have become extremely heated because it just seems as though Sibanye is not budging, is not willing to move beyond the 850 rand, and the unions, as you clearly hear, are also not willing to go beyond what they are asking for.